Hello my friends, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to my channel and welcome to my craft room. I'm so glad you're here. I'm here to work on another start of a journal. So I told you, well, I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but I brought this home and I showed it to you, or will be showing it to you in a Thrifty Thursday. I think I already showed it. And so I just thought this was so cute. I wasn't really planning on when I thought of my Christmas journals, I wasn't really thought of I'm gonna go find my thought wasn't I'm gonna go find a book at Dollar Tree. I'm gonna make a journal out of it. No, I didn't think of that. I just found this at Dollar Tree and I thought, oh, this would be such a cute journal cover. So that's what I'm doing. It's that time of year where we're making Christmas journals for December dailies, whatever you want to use them for. Christmas themed journals. So what I did was already take it apart. So if you have one of these and you want to take it apart, it's just really single pages. So I went ahead, this is all the pages, this is the cover. So I'm going to set aside the pages for now, and we're going to work on the cover today and get that situated. And what I've made a paperback journal before for Halloween and fall out of a paperback book. And I used a metal coil, spiral bound, binding. So that's what I'm doing today. So anyway, I hope you're having a good day and a good week and a good November so far and a good fall approaching. I hope you had a good Halloween and a good, days leading up to the next holiday. And since this is our holiday season, leading up to Thanksgiving. So let's see. So I need some paper. What I'm going to do is, this is cardstock, and while you could use this alone, I do like to reinforce it with at least one other layer of paper. So I looked at the colors here, and you see a lot of nice colors. I think that's one thing that attracted me to this book. And you've got the red, you've got blues, you've got some greens up here, and a light blue in the background with the snow and white. It's so pretty. But I picked out some paper with those colors. I haven't really picked out the one that's going to go on the inside. So we're going to do that together, and I'll show you what I've got. Let me turn this over so we can see the colors. So I've got some, I think this was Authentique. And I have a little bit of that left. So I kind of went through all my reds and greens. This is a nice green here. So actually that could go here. That would look actually really nice. I like that. That's a good choice. And let's see, this one is the same thing. So I have two of those. I have this one, which is one-sided. This one is actually, two-sided. It has all the little things on the back, so I can choose to use either this, or if it was in the middle of a journal, I still could cut this into pages and have this on one side. I wouldn't object to that. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But anyway, that is what it is. So the rest of these, there's some more double-sided in here. I'll show you, but this one has gingerbread men on the inside, which this is a little deeper red, like almost I'm going to call it a wine instead of a burgundy, but it's pretty much the same color, I guess. I'm going to call this a wine, just a little bit darker than burgundy, but not quite a maroon. And then you can see the other colors here. But I thought that would go. And then that's one-sided. This is one-sided. Oh, let's see. This is white on the back. This one I spritzed with my green food coloring last year or whenever, and then I didn't end up using it. But this one has those same colors, but in polka dots. And then we have a nice red one here. This one's double-sided, so I could use the green, inside the covers. And I I have more of these. And I think it would take, let me show you. I would need two to make the front and back the same. I just thought, I didn't just think of that, but I also did just think of that because I only got out one of these. But I have more if I want to use this. And I really like that one too. The colors of green in here are different greens. There's dark green up here, and then there's the holly leaves here that have lighter green like this, or more of a Kelly green, and then dark green. So this would work, and then this would work. This one I wouldn't use probably this so much. although it would still be pretty. Actually, you know, I could use that. Or this red one, which I really like the red one too. So, let's see, what should we do? I have more than this. I have more than one of this too. So I think I showed you all the papers I pulled out. I did pull out this for a page while I was digging through my papers. I found that. And actually I had some pieces fall out here. I don't know. Maybe they were trying to tell me something. But when I put my paper back in the the bin and put it to the side, these little pieces had fallen out. A little gingerbread man tag. It says to from on the back. He's super cute. I put this baker's twine in there last year. And I put the little, that's a little yellow eyelet. I put that in there too. Yeah, I forgot about that. And this piece jumped out. Beautiful nutcracker in pink. And then all these little pieces popped out and were left on my desk. Little pieces from, I believe these are from an Ideals magazine. Cut out. That one's fussy cut little Santa Claus. That's super cute. And this is just a little, these are quotes with, that one has a picture. This is a quote. This is like little poems from the Ideals magazine. Okay, so all those fell out and were left here when I put my paper away. So I think I'm going to go with this one because of the red, all the red here. And then when you turn and see red, I think that'll just be perfect. So I'm going to go grab another one of these and I'll be right back. So yeah, here's the second one. So this was a pack of paper where they were all the same. They were all like this that I had picked up a Tuesday morning before they closed, like a long while, like a year or two ago before they closed, you know, way before they were even thinking about closing. But I still, of course, have a lot of Tuesday morning paper. So let me see if these should be exactly the same size. And they are. So I can cut, except that my paper cutter really probably won't want to go through 2 pieces of cardstock at one time. So I'm going to just do this and measure kind of like this. Oh, you know what? I have to cut off this branding strip first. That won't fit. 12 inches plus won't fit in here. This is 12-inch paper cutter. So let me get that in here and cut that off. But yeah, this is the very beginning of a journal, and there's so many ways to make a journal. So, you know, there's no one way to make a journal. And at the end of this process, when I bind this journal, I'm going to show that on camera, I hope. If all goes well, it will be published. The video will be published. I'll do a video, and if all goes well, it will be published. But, yes, one of my friends and subscribers asked me to do a video on how my binder works, my metal coil binder, which I have 2 of them. I have the little one, the little pink one. And I have a big one that I recently got because I really love that type of binding. Okay, so I'm not going to leave my book in here because I don't want to accidentally cut it. I'm just going to line it up here. I'm lining it up. Let me put it at the top too, so I can see where I'm at. Line it up with the paper. Line it up paper over here in the book, and line it up with my cutter. So I think it's probably right there. That should be right. Okay, so I'm going to take that out now. I don't want to accidentally cut that. I've been very careful with that not to scratch it or, you know, make any marks on it. So it's a nice, pristine, new, I mean, it is new, but it's nice, pristine still from the store. So why not keep it like that, right? Okay, there we go. We cut one. Let me see how it fits on here. Yep, that looks good. I may have to cut a sliver off, but I probably will glue it first and then cut, so I don't cut it too small, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and cut the other one too, and we're going to get this cover. Now I may put a pocket on later, I probably will, because this is a good generic, even it's really pretty and matches really well, but it is a good generic background where if I cover some part of it up, it won't matter to me. You know what I mean? So I'm not covering up any little cute little creatures or anything. So I need to cut a little bit more of that off. It was just a little bit left there. Okay, so yeah, I probably will make a pocket later. I'm kind of doing my pockets at the end though, kind of like just see, you know, what's going on. I save these strips and do my little sewn strips with those. Okay, let's cut this other piece. But yeah, I kind of do my pockets at the end. I cut it this way, so I'm going to cut it the same way. Just, I don't know, I just like to do them at the end and just kind of get a vibe and see what's, you know, sometimes I use my scraps and things like that, so, and, you know, I have all kinds, you know, if you're a junk journal maker, or even if you're just a junk journal user, and say you have a journal that you want to put pockets in, you could just see what you have around and you know, use your imagination and make something really cool out of whatever you have, you know, it could be anything. So all right, now we can get this going with our cover. Let me get both front and back here. I'm going to put, well, I'm going to need that again in a second because I'm going to need to cut this off that way. So let's go ahead, we'll measure again. So it's going to go like open and like this, okay? So I'm going to cut it just how, you know, it's going to go like that. So I'm going to cut it like that right now. Again, measuring with my book cover. And it's thin, so it does fit under here. If you have a thicker book cover, you probably want to make some type of mark on, or a little, you know, sometimes I make a little fold, like not a complete fold all the way down, just a little fold at the end where I'm going to be cutting. That's usually what I do. But if you're not, you know, if you don't feel good about doing that, you could always make a little mark with a pen or a marker or whatever you have. I just ordered, actually, it's supposed to be coming today, I think, a disappearing ink pen. I saw some people, you know, crafters, using a disappearing ink pen to make their marks. I was like, why didn't I ever think of that? I don't know. I just don't really think about things like disappearing ink pens, but I thought that was a brilliant idea. So I ordered I don't know if I think it was just one because I wanted to try it out to see if it actually worked. I think I just ordered one on Amazon. So I will let you know how that goes. But I thought, well, if that works, that's a brilliant idea because I know I use Sharpies and things, and then if you put your mark in the wrong place, you know, pretty much are stuck with it unless you have some way of covering it up, or it just happens to get covered up or something. You know what I mean? I mean, if it's on the back of here and you glue this down, then that, of course, will be covered up. But if it's in a place that it doesn't get covered up, which has happened to me, then you just have to hope for the best that something will disguise it or cover it up or something, you know. So anyway, here we go. Oh, that is going to be beautiful, I think, and it adds another, like a whole, like this is just about as, I would say this is a little stiffer, the cover. It's a little bit stiffer, almost cardboard-like, but not cardboard, than this, but this is pretty thick cardstock too. Okay, so I got out a brand new bottle, a little mini Fabri-Tac here that I bought, I don't know when, like probably a year ago. And I thought, you know, I keep putting off using this because it's so tiny. Like as soon as I open it, it's probably gonna be gone. But I thought, why not go ahead and use it? I mean, I wouldn't even refill it probably because, but it's so cute. I would like to, I would like to refill it, just because it's so, you know, tiny and little and convenient to use instead of the big bottle. But I mean, I don't have trouble with using the big bottle. It's just when the glue gets down in the bottom, then it's hard to, you know, when you're finishing up, if you're not going to refill it and you just want to empty it, it's sometimes hard to get all the, you know, not impossible, but a little hard to get the glue out. So someone outside has been blowing leaves this morning, trying to conquer the leaf invasion that we're having this time of year. And we kind of live in the middle of a forest, so it's kind of funny. We've never, I mean, the most I ever, most I've ever, tried to, get rid of the leaves is in the spring when I'm planting a garden, my vegetable garden or something, and I would rake the leaves out. And of course, on my front and back porch, I've kind of always swept the leaves off. But recently, one of my family members, not my husband, somebody else, got a leaf blower, and they came over and they blew some leaves away for me. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is my favorite tool in the world now, because he instantly, blew all the leaves off my front porch, where it would have taken me, I mean, it doesn't take me that long, but, maybe 10 minutes on each porch to sweep the leaves off. He did in like a minute or 30 seconds on each porch, and all the leaves were gone. And then he also blew the leaves out of a section of where I have some plants. And I don't think I told you this before, but I had been asking my husband to blow the leaves out of there for a couple years. Yes, you heard me right, like a couple years. And he never did. He just was always like, well, it just rained and now they're wet, and I have to wait till they're dry or something like that. Always had some type of excuse. And so I just kind of gave up. I was like, I guess I'm just going to have leaf mulch from now on and never see whatever was under that again. My plants would come up above the leaves because, like hosta and things like that, they'll grow big enough where you can see them over the leaves, and so your leaves just end up being kind of like mulch. But this person blew the leaves away for me. I was like, wow. I mean, because it was a couple years worth of leaves, so it was a thick layer of leaves, because like I said, we live in a forest kind of, and out in the country. There's one. So as you saw me, I just cut around the edges there to get the extra off. There's a little bit more up here I should probably try to get off because I can see it, but I don't want to mess up like where the inside looks weird. I think I'm going to leave it. Because I don't want the inside to look jagged or not straight or something. I'm going to leave it because it's nice and straight. I'm just going to leave it. So anyway, he blew away that thick layer of leaves, and I couldn't believe I could still, my mulch, and I had some pretty rocks under there too, and like a design, and like a river design that I had made for like my garden. Like it was a little garden, it's a little garden area where I have some plants, and pretty plants like hosta and things like that. Well, I just thought, well, they're gone, I'll never see them again. And he blew the leaves away. I was just like amazed, because I was like, my pretty rocks are still there. My mulch is still there. I couldn't believe it. So, well, I guess it was a good thing that the leaves maybe protected everything under there for 2 years and preserved it. But it was nice to see the ground under there again. So, anyway, it's a leaf blower, and it's a really good one. And this person, I mean, I think anybody could use it. So maybe it depends on your leaf blower. If it's not powerful enough, it won't blow the leaves away. But this one certainly did, and I was very grateful. So now I think he was out there blowing the leaves away again, and I'm like hoping he got my front back porch, because that was really nice. If he didn't, I'll have to like send him a text. Hey, you forgot something, type of thing. But there we go. So isn't that pretty? All right, so next step is to get the pages ready. Let me see what time it is. We have a little bit of time. And this feels like it's all nice and smooth and all glued down. Just using my hand to make sure it's all kind of like burnished down. It looks good. Okay. Oh, I didn't use it all up in one thing. I still have some left in there. I was like, there's like 2 squirts in there, you know what I mean? But I guess there's more than 2 squirts. I'm just being silly. Okay, so the rest of these pages that we didn't use can now be pages. But for a ring bound, or not a ring, it's not a ring bound, it's metal coils, you know. So for, what is that, an airplane? I think it's an airplane. We don't have a lot of airplanes go over this area, so whenever I hear one, it's like, it's not familiar. So it's like, what is that type of thing? Okay. I'm going to leave this whole, not whole, but I'm going to not cut any of it off. So I'm going to fold it up here. And then this will be a decoration on this side. I've done that before with this paper, I believe. And it just makes, you know, you have a little decorative strip down here. And then you don't have to cut any off. What I could do also is, I could glue that down. And either I could cut it here on the fold I just made, or instead of doing that, maybe I will, so it could be a page like this, or yeah, I guess either way it would be like that, and I could fold it over here and have it as a flip out. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I've never done that before with this, but I think that would be cool. Then I wouldn't, then it would be a full-size page, because all the pages in here are not folded. They're you know, like a signature. They're one sheet, like just one sheet, one single sheet of paper. So it'll be like this. Oh, that is perfect. So I'll go ahead and glue this down. This one I'm going to use a little bit of art glitter glue. And we'll just glue this strip down. So this side will have some decoration. And the other side, I mean, we won't be cutting it. Because I was going to cut it in half, and I just thought of that. Why not use a little flip out here? And it could develop into something else too as we go along. I don't know. We shall see. I don't want to get glue on here, so let me move that. Okay, so there's the flip out. It could almost be a tuck, but it's a little big for a tuck, so I would just leave it as a flip out for the moment. And that will be that first, not the first page, but you know, that'll be a page. Okay, so now for the next pages, let's see. So we have 12 by 12 paper. And I want to do the best I can without, you know, making too many scraps, but in using 12 by 12 paper in this size, it is inevitable that I'm going to have scraps. So let me look at both. This is the one that I have green food coloring sprayed on the back. Okay, so I'm going to need them about that size of that page I just made. So I might use that as my template, actually. So what I can do is also make pockets or tuck spots with the 12 by 12 paper before I cut it. Decide, am I going to have a pocket under or over? This one I think I'm going to make a pocket, you know, fold it under here. So let me take this as my template, like I said, and it's gonna be this wide. So instead of cutting it off, this will be folded up. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off right here. Instead of like cutting it here first and then just having this piece, I'm gonna cut it off here. I'm gonna cut off here, so I'll have this whole piece. Hope that makes sense. Trying to confuse you, right? Or myself. But I just wanted to bring you in from the beginning. I usually try to do that when I'm doing my covers and figuring out pages and things, because you know each one is different depending on how you bind them and all that. Each journal is different. So now I have this whole piece to do something with. Okay, and then so this page is like this. So I know I have the right size here for the page. So the reason I picked this one to make a bottom pocket is because when I fold it up, the pattern is all over. You know, it's an all over pattern. So it doesn't matter. It's like when I fold it up, the pattern's not going to be upside down. So I won't have to worry about that. Okay. But it is, You can leave a pocket and have a deep pocket that deep, but I feel like it's too deep, so I'm going to cut it off a little bit. You know, and I don't ever like say, oh, you know, my pockets, when I fold them up, they're always 2 inches, or they're always 2.5 inches. I just, whatever looks good to me at the moment, that's what I do. You know, I don't really measure in any way when I do pockets like this. So that looks good. Chopped off that much, about 1 inch. And I have this left. So I will be gluing, or I can sew or glue the sides here. So that's another page. And you can see how it does. Oh, it's a little bit too tall. Okay, so I'm going to need to cut this off here. I don't know how that happened, but it did, so, you know, it's all right. That can go into my strips that I sew together. So that'll be that. That'll be a pretty strip for my strips that I sew together. Okay, now that should be good. Well, that is weird. Now it's shorter. Am I seeing things or what? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine. That was weird. Okay. Okay, now, so this is the one that I was looking at too when I was saying, you know, which ones do I want to make a side tuck or a pocket. And this one, if I made a pocket down here, when I turn it around, the gingerbread would be upside down. So this one maybe we'll make a side tuck or flip out or something. But I need to cut my branding strip off there. And I do use my branding strips in the strips I sew together too, if they are decorative and, you know, if they're in any way colored or decorative. Like this one's just a solid color, but that is perfect for my strips. So, only time I don't use them is if they have, you know, actual words from the company that made the paper, scrapbook paper, which that does happen sometimes. So this one, since I'm going to make a side tuck, I'm going to cut it at the bottom, and you can see I cut a gingerbread out. One gingerbread, man, I must have needed a gingerbread, and I cut one out of here and probably fussy cut it out and used it on something. That's okay. You know, I use all my paper one way or the other as best I can without throwing any in the trash. So, all right, there we go. All right. I'm just cutting where my measurement is. I'm not thinking about the gingerbread being cut in half here. Actually, I am. So you see how, let's see, this goes like this. So I have that much left. So either I have to do it like this, or my pages would be, if I were to just cut this in half, you know, it would be a 6-inch page. And let me show you, the reason I'm not doing that is because I want my pages, you know, especially for December Daily, or really almost any journal, but not really any journal, especially for December Daily. I've done 4 years worth, I think now, and I discovered, because in one of my journals I made little pages with book pages, and I discovered I didn't like that. I liked full pages in my December Daily because I like to be able to put whatever and not be, you know, challenged by a little page, you know, like, what am I going to put on this little dingy page? Or, you know, I mean, you know, you can add paper onto it and make it into a big page, all that. But, you know, I'd rather just have the big pages and not be worried about that. So that's why, because of my experience, that's why I make the journals the way I do, because I use my journals too. So anyway, see, 6 inches would end right here. And that's way too, I mean, it's okay to have 1 or 2 of those in there, but I don't want the whole book of pages to end right there. So that's why I'm making them to be full pages for this particular size of book. You know, whatever the book is. If it was a 6-inch wide book, that would be a different story, but it's not. It's wider than that. So, to take that into consideration, right? Yes. Alrighty. So, let's see how this one came out. I don't know what I did before when I thought it was shorter, and then, I mean, taller. No, that one's perfect. Okay. So, oh, I cut off my... I cut off my fold in. There it is. So that gives us other opportunities to do a Franken page here or something, which we will do later. But right now I'm just going to cut pages, and then we'll do like flip outs if I'm going to add like, add on something, like say I want to add this back on somewhere. This will be fun to add on. Say I make this into a page. This right here into a page. It would be fun to add this on here and have it as a flip over onto this striped page. So it gives us, even though that was not my original plan when I was saying and I'm talking and I'm not paying attention, but it gives me an opportunity to do something else. So just take your mistakes as opportunities to do something different, and don't worry about it. Because now I'm kind of excited about challenging myself to figure out what I'm going to do with. And that is a lot of fun for me when, I get done with the pages, and then I can I think that's so much fun to figure out, well, where can I put this scrap? What can I do with that scrap, And it's kind of fun to really use your imagination and use your scraps in different ways than you ever planned. It's not like you planned it, just kind of something you think of on the as you're creating. So let's get this one cut. This paper is really pretty. I'm trying not to put more than one, except for on the cover where we needed 2 pieces. I'm trying to put only one of each pattern in here of paper. So I've got, that's what I've shown you so far. So this one I'm just going to cut too. I'm not going to worry about, I think I'm going to just cut pages, and it's about time for me to go. And it is time for me to go, actually. I'm looking at my clock. I didn't turn on my timer today. I just noted the time that I started. And it said, okay, I need to be done by so-and-so time, and it is that time right now. So this is a little, I need a little sliver cut off here, and I'll stop because I think you get the idea what I'm doing with the pages. And I know if you watch my channel, you've seen me cut pages many times, but like I said, every journal is bound different, so you cut, if you're doing signatures, that's different. If you're doing a ring bound, that's very similar to this, except when you punch the holes, you're punching 2 or 3 holes for rings instead of a whole bunch of holes for the metal coil. And then there's single signature, 2 or 3 signature, all that kind of stuff. So, okay. We got these 3 pages done. And the cover, that's not too bad. Because, I didn't even know what paper I was going to put in here. So these will all go in. I can't wait to see how this develops because, I don't really have a plan. I just know, I want to put some pages in here. I want to put some pockets in here and ephemera and decorated paper clips and a tassel and all the good stuff. So anyway, thank you for watching. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave this just to address this before I go. Get ready for Christmas. I think that's cute. The Blippi, I might put something over that. Like, I don't necessarily want to cover up the Christmas trees, but maybe something more appropriate instead of Blippi. I guess Blippi's the little dog, though, and that's the story. So I don't know. Maybe I would need to leave the Blippi, but Blippi's all throughout, so I don't really think I have to leave the Blippi. Anyway, I could put a sticker there, or a cluster, a little banner, a strip of trim. I don't know. I'll decide on that later, but that I want to let you know I was thinking about that. And the back cover has the same thing, Blippi and Get Ready for Christmas. But then I would like to put something here. It says, Getting ready for Christmas is so fun. Shopping, baking, singing, and decorating the tree. Let's do it together. That could be okay too, though. I could leave that and just put something down here, which I could put a pocket all the way across here, or some kind of trim. So I will experiment with that too, because this is just all, you know, all stuff we really don't need. It does have the copyright 2023, so it's not like we need to save the copyright or anything like it's an old book. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the cover. So I'll get back to you with my next steps. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day.